Hey, I'm back. Week 12, and sorry I missed last week. I got sick, but best way to do it is just do it. Lions and Bills on Thanksgiving was a phenomenal game. A B, Lions look like one of the scrappiest teams in the league. This team does not go away. Dan Campbell is now, his regime's finally starting to show results, and the Lions look good. The past couple weeks, the Bills, on the other hand, they've looked better and better. They look better than they have. They lost 2 in a row, and now here they are, finally winning finally winning again. Next was Cowboys and Giants, and the Giants, they're starting to, tamper off a little bit. This team is started off really, really good, and now in the back half here, they're starting to, the engine's running out of steam. Cowboys, though, still one of the best teams in football. They dominated the Vikings last week, and now they win a one possession game on Thanksgiving. The last game on Thanksgiving was Vikings and Pats. I didn't really get to watch much of this, but the Vikings after getting dominated, they win a game, and the Pats still look like one of the most mediocre to bad teams in the league, and the Vikings still look like one of the better teams that there are in the entire NFL. I will stand on this hill that the Vikings will make a deep playoff run until I'm proven otherwise. Next was Dolphins and Texans, and Dolphins are them. Tua is as good as Tyreek Hill said he was, and Jalen Waddle, and both Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill are top 10 wide receivers in this league. I will hear no different. And the Dolphins team, this team could make a run too. Honestly, this team could make a deep run. But the Texans, I think this team will be. It could get scary with the Texans in the next couple of years. They're not good now. Obviously they're the worst team in football now, but I honestly think this team could be sneaky with it in a couple of years. Just give them time. I think there's a lot of talent and a lot of good things happening in Houston. Just not this year. Titans and Bengals, and it was a close one, and a bunch of injuries were plagued the Bengals in this game. But the good thing is that Joe Burrow is winning, and they're putting it. They're winning without Chase. And they're not putting up 30, 40 points a game, but they're putting up enough to win, and they look good. The Bengals have looked good since they dominated the Panthers. And the Titans, they lose here. It was a close game, but the Titans are still one of the better teams there is. They are good. I don't think they're Super Bowl contending good, but they're good. If you told me back when I made my first video that the Panthers would beat the Broncos this year, I'd call you nuts. But the Panthers winning 23-10 against the Denver Broncos, it says more about the Broncos than it does about the Panthers. But hey, Sam Darnold comes back and they look good. Him and DJ Moore had a good connection in this game. That's phenomenal. Love to see it. And the defense looked really good. Yeah, fine. The Broncos are so bad this year. I assume a lot of people have seen the TikTok where it's does Russell Wilson have more touchdowns than he has bathrooms in his house? And he still doesn't. The bathrooms are still winning. It's week 12. The Broncos offense is abysmal. This offense, it is barely existent. How do you let the Panthers beat you when you have 4 times more talent than they do? Next was the Bears and the Jets, and I'm not going to be super hard on the Bears. They don't have Justin Fields, and they barely even had Trevor Siemian, only putting up 10 points. But the Jets, without Zach Wilson, continue look better than when they do have him. I love Zach Wilson, I really do, but I don't think that this is going to end well for him. As much as that pains me to say. The Jets without Zach Wilson, their offense looks so complete and so good. And it does hurt as someone who's a massive fan of him to say that. But the dude's comment about, do you think you let down the defense? And he said no. And that's just kind of not true. I mean, the dude's got to figure something out, or he has to do something, because his NFL career is on the line right now. Next was the Commanders and Falcons. And the Commanders, dude, what did I say 2 weeks ago? They are sneaky. They are so fucking sneaky. Win these games out of nowhere. I swear. It's not out of nowhere. They're better than the Falcons. The fact they have a quarterback who's, been passed around the league and, shouldn't even be a starter. Taylor Heinicke, God. This dude deserves to have a starting job permanently in the NFL. He is so, so good. He's lucky. He wins. He's doing everything he right in Washington right now. Atlanta, tough loss, but there's not much to say about Atlanta this year at all anymore. But literally, you have this Commanders team that's just playing at a high level right now. This whole division is. The whole NFC East is playing so well right now. Next was Buccaneers and Browns, and we're only a week away from Deshaun Watson, and the Browns found a way to beat Brady in overtime to give him his first ever overtime loss in his career. But yeah, the Browns looked like better than they have all year in this game, and the Buccaneers continue to look so mid. It's actually disgusting. This team. Usually Brady elevates, and if any other quarterback was on this team, they would not even be first in this division. I think that's how abysmal the Buccaneers are. Brady can only do so much. Jaguars and Ravens, and boy, Trevor Lawrence had the game that everyone the Jags drafted him to have, and this was his best game of his career to this point. T-Law actually put the game on his back and won it for the Jags. And the Ravens, they shouldn't have ever been in that position to have Justin Tucker kick a 67-yard field goal. But I assume almost everybody saw the tweet. I will not be touching that one with a 50-foot pole. Next, Seattle and Raiders. Dude, I'm going to be real with you. I don't remember this game happening. I just straight out don't remember. You could have showed me 40 plays from this game. I wouldn't remember it. The Raiders won apparently, that's shocking. And I guess the Seahawks are starting to lose that steam and that luck that they had. They were a really good team in the first half of the season. Now they're starting to not be anymore. They've lost a couple, and they're starting to. They were a machine early in the season, and now the machine's starting to break down a little bit. Next was Cardinals and Chargers, and Chargers starting to get a little bit more healthy, and they win. And I can only defend this team for so long. And finally, they win a close game against the Cardinals, but they win it. And Justin Herbert starting to piece, they need to put some nice wins down the stretch so they can get this playoff spot. Cardinals, though, what is Arizona? If someone wants to answer that question for me, what is Arizona? Arizona is probably I don't want to say worst. Arizona is probably they had so much potential with Murray and Hopkins and stuff, and they literally have done nothing with it. It's basically just the Browns with OBJ and Baker again. They haven't done shit with all the talent that they have, and that's just the truth. And I have no faith. I honestly, wholeheartedly believe maybe you trade Kyler Murray while he still has value. Next is Niners and Saints, and this was a low-scoring game. The Niners win it because their defense is elite, and the Saints are just bad at everything. Good job, Niners. That's really all there is to say. They played. It was a low-scoring game. Not much happens. Next was Chiefs and Rams, and remember a couple years ago when it was 56 to 50, that legendary game? I do too. Yeah, this wasn't that. The Rams, they suck ass. Just blatantly, they suck ass. They're terrible. And the Chiefs are the best team in football right now. I don't see who's stopping the Chiefs. Yeah, the Bills probably could, and I still believe the Bills will win the Super Bowl. But the Chiefs they're playing so amazing right now that they have made very, very little mistakes this year. I have full faith this team will be in the AFC Championship game, if not back in the Super Bowl. Next, we have Packers and Eagles, and yes, it was a one-possession game, but again, Jalen Hurts and the Eagles are phenomenal. They are a good team. They had a bad game. They had a couple bad games. Now they're back. They're putting up 40 a game. Packers are starting to find a little bit of a rhythm, though. Aaron Rodgers starting to find a rhythm with Christian Watson and stuff is cool. You want to see stuff like that because this team needs that. They need a number one receiver now. Adams is gone, and to see Watson, finally in the back half here stepping up is really nice. If you're a Packers fan, but I still think the season is an absolute wash. The Eagles, on the other hand, are just gonna continue to do what they want when they want. Final game of the week. Steelers and Colts, wow, two of the worst teams in this entire league going at it in prime time. And which one is worse? Apparently the Colts on this given night, because the Steelers defense ends up ending the game-winning drive the Colts had going, and the Colts continue to struggle and not look great. Still better than they did pre-Saturday. Steelers, though, they really need to just stop trying. They need to stop trying because they are just not a good team in any regard, ever. But, yes, that's it for this week. Here are the power rankings. And I will see you guys next week for week 13, where Deshaun Watson comes back. But